Welcome to the Concealed Taco Dudes podcast. This is episode 114.
Oh, the enthusiasm. We have a half crew today. It's just me, Jason, with Concealment Solutions. We have
Ricky with Mag Holder.
And
Gene Tessier, gunsmith extraordinaire.
there we go. Nice. Stan, I think he just probably got home from work.
Well, and him being an old man, he's probably tired.
Yeah.
Didn't get his nap, so he's
Well, usually he naps on the drive home. But maybe he couldn't do that this time. So,
And we pick on Stan only because we love him.
exactly.
And it's fun.
And he's an easy target.
If he's not here to defend himself.
Exactly.
That too.
Exactly.
That too.
Taco apparently is buried in work. End of the year, apparently everybody is trying to do their computer stuff. I don't know. He said something about migrations.
Sounds made up. He's watching a movie at home.
Yeah, he's watching the Discovery Channel, the
Yeah.
Nature Channel.
Catching up with
Migration.
Dancing with the Stars or something.
Although I do know of a lot of people doing computer stuff. Even my wife
No.
is doing computer stuff now.
Wow.
I don't know why they wait until this time of year, but it seems to be a thing this year.
Computer hasn't been turned on all year.
Yeah, and now she's trying to figure out how to turn it on. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, let's knock out some sponsors. We are, of course, at the NOE Bullet Molds studio. That's why the sound quality is so good, other than the refrigerator humming in the background because I forgot to unplug it.
Well, it'll keep us from hearing the traffic.
Yeah.
So,
I had that on one of the ones my story time episodes. There was somebody outside, some big old loud beast of a machine idling outside.
That was me. Sorry about that. I thought it'd be funny.
I thought for a minute, do I need to go check my car, make sure they're not breaking in or something? Anyway, but we're at NOE Studios.
yeah, great bullet molds.
The best bullet molds.
I would agree.
And there's also reloading stuff.
Yep, all kinds of goodies.
Dylan presses.
Yeah, that's a good gift idea. You ought to go to.
You got to hold on to that idea, though.
Well, this is part of the sponsorship. You ought to go
that's
to
true.
noebulletmolds.com. That's what it is, right?
It is.
It is, and just go ahead and order a big blue reloaded machine for the loved one in your life.
And use the code FLT001 and you'll save, I think, 10% off of that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good deal.
It's a good deal.
That is a good deal. Anyway,
That was FLT001.
FLT001.
Write that one down.
That's Taco's discount code from his YouTube
It's his
channel.
person. Oh, okay.
Full.Lead.Taco, FLT.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I get that.
Anyway, also Black Ice Coatings at blackicecoatings.com.
Best darn coating you can get on a gun.
I love their stuff.
I do too.
I love it. I
Slicker
was
than snot.
showing off my Ruger Mark II with the 10-inch barrel.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that
Oh,
one?
yeah. I remember that one well.
You fixed it up for me. I picked it up dirt cheap because the gun shop took it in on trade for next to nothing because they couldn't take it down. It wouldn't come apart, and they couldn't figure it out. And he made the mistake of telling me how much he gave the guy for it. And I was like, well, what do you want for it? Oh, I don't know. This is the manager of the shop. He's like, I think I might want this one for myself. I went, oh, okay, no worries. And I started driving home, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, no, I need that. And so I pulled over, and I texted him. I can't even remember what it was, but I said, I'll give you, it was double what he paid for. I'll give you this right now. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to worry about it. It's out of your hair. Let me think about it. And I went in like every day. I'm taking that gun today, right? Yeah, fine, you can have it. And then
Nice.
Gene fixed it up for me. And then, because it was starting to get a little bit of rusting under the grips, I took it over to Lee at Black Ice. Totally Tefloned it inside and out. It's a nice coyote brown outside with all black highlights on it. It's a good looking gun.
It is.
Normally I wouldn't have done that drastic of a change on something like that because it's a little bit older and nostalgic and whatever, but I thought it's just going to go to crap if I don't do something now. But I was showing it to actually an employee at that same shop who wasn't there at the time. Wow, this is really cool. Where'd you get it? And I told him, he's like, I can't believe you got this from him.
Really?
He's like, he loves 22s. I can't believe he let this go. I'm like,
Wow.
well, I hounded him quite a bit.
Nice.
But beautiful work. Check out Black Ice Coatings and get something slickery this Christmas for yourself.
I always get amazed going into his shop, just seeing everything they're working on, and the craftsmanship is amazing.
Yeah. And I love that it's a family business. His girls are right there prepping stuff and doing all the stuff too.
Nicest people in the world.
Good. Yep. Good.
I'm taking that
people.
air gun I acquired.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna have him dip it Magholder green.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Or I think he's gonna dip it. I think that's what we decided on. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Speaking of air guns, Utah Air Guns at utahairguns.com. If you don't have an air gun yet, I don't know why.
What are you doing?
It is the cheapest way to keep your finger on a trigger right now.
It is.
And you can get pellets.
And you can get and they're cheap.
Yeah.
They're still not expensive. And air's cheap.
We might not want to talk about that on air though, because maybe that'll drive prices up.
It could, but I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Check out Utah Air Guns, utahairguns.com. Use the code AIRCANDY. They'll give you free shipping, which doesn't sound like significant, but if you live, say, in the East and you're buying a gun, that's going to save you a decent amount just on the shipping.
Yep.
Yeah, shipping's gone up a lot, so free shipping on anything.
Shipping
That's
is
a great
stupid.
deal.
In fact, our shipping prices are going up in January.
Again.
I have not raised my shipping prices in a few years. My cost has gone up many, many times since then. And my wife, who does most of the shipping for me, is like, you need to change this. You need to change it. And she keeps saying that. I'm like, it's okay. And I've been shipping a lot of the stuff lately, and I'm like, we need to change this.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, guys. Get your orders in now because shipping's going up. I'm resisting as much as I can on raising prices on stuff, but my cost just on a plain sheet of black Kydex has gone up significantly in the last couple of years, but my prices have not. Which means I'm making less money now.
Yeah.
For us, I think our prices have doubled.
Your cost?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, our cost,
Yeah, it's
just material.
It's ridiculous.
Yep. It hurts.
So anyway, get them while you can.
Yep.
Let's jump into, we do have listener feedback without Taco, and our gunsmith extraordinaire, also known as Gene, he will be spearheading the listener feedback.
Yes, I will. So first up from Kevin C.
That sounds like a made-up name.
It does. Might as well be Kevin Smith. Yeah. So thanks again for story time. Most Dangerous Men Part 2. Kudos to Jason.
Woohoo.
I just finished a Gunsight 150 3-day pistol course.
Excellent.
The holster and mag pouches Jason made for me worked great all 3 days.
Nice.
He shot a Polymer 80 Glock 17 clone with a Hollow Sun green circle dot.
Nice.
The gun worked great. The only malfunction in 500 rounds was probably a botched chamber check. It helped me be a better shooter. Good job.
Nice.
At least until the test where I choked. Doris.
I have done the same.
and I'm assuming Doris is his wife. She used her Blade Tech holster 2 days and her Concealment Solutions holster 1 day. She wishes she used the Concealment Solutions holster the whole time.
Of course.
We have taken and will take
that
friends.
all the time.
I like mine.
Yeah.
I've got several. We have taken and will take friends from our RV park shooting, including some timid newbies for basic pistol lessons.
Excellent.
Keep up the great podcasts and Leadcast Taco.
Nice.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Great to hear feedback. Great to hear.
I'm glad people are liking story time because they take a lot of work
Yeah.
for me to put together, to be honest. but I enjoy doing them.
Nice.
And it's kind of nice, especially during the holidays when it's really hard for all of us to get together and everything. It's not too big of a deal for me to run down here and sit in this padded room by myself for an hour or so talking to myself.
Now, do you have to get Al to let you out, or are you able to get out on your own?
Yeah. So far, I've been able to make my way out afterwards.
Nice. All right. Well, good job on the training. Keep up the good work and keep after it. Dave W. Sounds like Carl has been medically treated the complete wrong way. If he does pull through, as it sounds like he will, he is NIH invulnerable. Go, Carl. And Carl is doing better. He's not 100% yet.
He did go home today.
He did go home today.
Out of the rehab.
That is a huge step.
Yeah.
So.
And he should recover quicker at home. You know, and having all of his girls around, that should really boost his spirits and get him to doing better even quicker, I hope.
Better rest in his own bed.
Yep. Got a couple of dogs to keep him company.
Yep.
It'll be good for him.
Yeah.
So
I mean, considering this ordeal started in September with him is when he went into the hospital.
Yep.
He was sedated for a good portion of the time he was in ICU. He was on a ventilator. He had a trach to keep that ventilator access and give him some other kind of relief, I guess. I didn't understand all that. But there were many weeks where it did not look good. His kidneys were shutting down. And I got to a point where I was like, I don't even want to look at the Facebook page because I'm scared of what I might see.
When I came back from the hunt, I was expecting to see things other than what I saw.
Yeah.
I was very pleasantly surprised when I got back and found he was doing better and improving.
He's a strong guy, and when people talk about fighters, Carl is a fighter in every aspect of the word.
You know, that little guy has been fighting his whole life because he's so small. And I love Carl, but he's a little dude.
Yeah.
But he's one of the healthiest dudes I know, and my gosh, he is such a great guy, and so glad to see he's doing better.
I think his wife deserves a call out too for what she's going through.
Oh
held the family together.
She's doing great.
Getting there at the hospital just about every day. I mean, pretty amazing.
And I know from customers that I've talked to on the phone and through email and stuff like that, there have been a lot of you guys who are thinking about him and his family and praying for him, and so that has been greatly appreciated and apparently has been effective.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything, but I had a miracle in my pocket, and I was saving it for something really important, and I thought, well, whatever, I'll just use it on Carl.
Might as well.
So I cashed in.
Called it in. Wow.
So really, it's all thanks to me.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, I do what I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was the only one I had, so don't any of you guys think. Anyway.
Yeah.
Back to feedback.
All right, from Ben D. Hey, dudes.
You love Bendy.
He's probably a flexible guy.
I bet.
Bad jokes. Hey, dudes, you had a listener ask for ultrasonic cleaner additives.
Oh, yeah.
I use Ballistol most of the time, and it's pretty fantastic with anything and safe with everything. It even treats leather, and I can vouch for that.
Yeah?
I've been using Ballistol for a lot of years. Works really great on leather.
It's really good for plaque buildup, too.
You can use it for that. You know, it's actually... You can drink this stuff. I'm not saying you should, but you can.
Gene says you should drink Ballistol.
I gargle with it. My dentist says that.
Is that what that odor is?
Yeah.
I've never heard of Ballistol. What is Ballistol?
So Ballistol is a German product.
Okay.
It's been around since, I don't know, the 15th century or something.
Okay.
Maybe not that long.
And it's safe.
It's very safe.
Nothing sounds safe so far. German, 15th century.
No, I think it came out late 1800s, early 1900s.
Okay.
And the military over there used it for cleaning their guns.
Ah.
A lot of black powder shooters really like it because they'll mix it typically half and half Ballistol, half water.
Okay.
And they'll use that for cleaning their black powder guns.
So is it like a powder that you...
Nope, it's a liquid.
Okay.
It's a liquid. It's very fragrant.
Okay.
So you want
In a good way? Or in like a...
It'll clear your sinuses.
Hops number, is it 9 or 5?
The first question on Google is, can you drink Ballistol?
You can. I mean...
On their website, they say it is not harmful or hazardous.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the best tasting stuff, but you can drink it. But it is very safe. It's a good cleaner. I actually like it the best for when I have crusty guns come in. I soak them with the Ballistol, and it helps break down the rust. It doesn't like dissolve the rust, but it just helps. It's good stuff.
You know what
I
use
as a
for rust?
What do you use?
Navel jelly.
Well, see, this is on guns you don't want to lose the patina.
Oh, so
Where
navel
they're
jelly
crusty,
will remove that too. Yeah.
So if you've got a crusty gun that you want to kind of clean up, you soak the wood, you soak the metal, you just spray it down with this stuff.
Everything. Okay.
And go over it all with steel wool.
Okay.
And it really cleans them up, makes them look really great.
Huh.
Without stripping the finish off.
Okay. So
it has that old look.
It just
keeps
takes
that
the
patina.
bad stuff off.
Yeah. Yeah, works really good. So going back to what Ben D says, I usually just throw the whole gun in without the magazine, and then when it's done, blow it out with compressed air, and it leaves everything lubricated. I just add a little grease to the slide rails, and some of the tougher stuff has to get brushed afterwards, but the ultrasonic loosens it.
Yeah.
I've done semi-auto CZs, Glocks, Kel-Tecs, and Smith & Wessons.
So
never
he's
had an
putting
issue
polymer
with
guns in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's safe. It's completely
Because
safe.
that was one of the questions or concerns we had.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the ultrasonic cleaners, is polymer guns in a cleaner or whatever.
Yeah. Another good one is Simple Green.
Yeah, we
mix
did
it up
talk
a little,
about Simple Green.
Yeah. And I actually use straight Simple Green for cleaning black powder guns.
And you can drink Simple
Nothing.
Green too.
You might
It
have
has a
some bad
fruity
effects.
flavor.
You might have some bad
I
effects.
think if
from
you
that.
mixed Ballistol with the Simple Green,
Offsets it.
you might have a nice little smoothie there.
And if you go to Jason's shop and he offers you Kool-Aid, don't drink it.
Walk out.
It may or may not be
Murky
Simple Green.
greenish.
So I like what he says about, add some grease to the slide.
Yeah.
Ballistol, a lot of people use it as a lubricant. It's
Yeah.
not a great lubricant.
Okay.
And all y'all can send me hate mail all you want, but I'm going to stick to this. It's a great cleaner. It's a decent rust preventative, but it's a terrible lubricant.
Okay.
So if you do use it, use grease on your high wear areas. Otherwise, you'll have issues. If you just use straight Ballistol,
You're gonna get
gotta
some
grease it.
wear eventually with that.
Well, you just got to
Sooner
grease
than
it
later,
because
yeah.
otherwise you're going to have malfunctions.
Okay.
Every oil that I use, I've tested.
Bendy's shaking his fist at you.
Yeah, he is probably.
Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Extraordinary, my butt.
Dang you, Jane.
Well, it's like they say, you can't please everybody all the time. But and then Mel, who I think is from Hawaii, says aloha.
What makes you think he's from Hawaii?
I don't know. He talks about, it's T-shirts. I thought it said Hawaiian shirts. He says, aloha, I've been with you all from the beginning and even had one of the Swap Their Shoes T-shirts.
Oh, those were classic.
I don't know what that is.
Back in the day, this is way back, like early gun dudes. We would do, well, I say we, and it's really Carl. We would do not just the news, but we would do, I can't remember what they call it. It was like self-defense in the news, but it was like dumb criminals. We've done a few of them. I can't remember what we called it. But we always mocked the criminals that would get shot and died and stuff like that. And Carl would make jokes about, well, you want, just so when the police come, so they understand that this guy was really messed up and you had to shoot him and da-da-da-da-da, swap his shoes and take his underwear and put it on the outside of his pants. So they'd be like, oh, you did this guy a favor by shooting him. And so they had T-shirts made, and it was two shoes, and they were opposite, and it said, listen to the gun dudes or we'll swap your shoes or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It was one of the long running jokes on the gun dudes.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
Oh,
Mid-'80s?
No, it was probably
Early 2000s,
It was
wasn't it?
probably it was during the Obama
No kidding.
administration.
Oh, wow.
His first term.
So that would have been, what, 2008?
8 to 12.
8 to 10, right in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's about when the Gun Dude started, I think, was right around.
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah,
before
yeah.
Obama. I think it was 2007.
Yeah. I think I
Yeah.
remember hearing that story.
Yeah. Anyway, that's where the swap you in your shoes shirts came from.
So, and I'm glad we covered that story, because his next quote is, it had me laughing when I read it. He says, I've often thought of the Billy Madison quote while listening. What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
That sounds like every episode
Yeah.
we record.
Yeah,
Are we
yeah,
not
it is.
supposed to do that?
Oh, I didn't understand.
I love
it.
Very good observation.
That's all my
Thank
agenda
you.
says. Is
Everyone in the room
Make
is now
no sense.
dumber.
Yep.
For this. You know, I've had an experience like that. Back in the day, you know, when money was super tight and to go get my hair cut, I would go to the beauty school. Oh my gosh. I finally had to stop because I was like, it takes forever.
Yeah.
And the conversations that I have to overhear, these
it's
girls
not worth
talking
it.
to each other, I'm like, I'm dumber after having sat there for 2.5 hours for a haircut.
That's why
than
I cut
was
my
when
own
I
hair.
walked in. Yeah, yeah.
I only have to listen to myself.
So I can feel your pain. I'm sorry to everybody who's listening. I didn't understand what we were putting you through.
Okay, and he goes on to say, almost lost the podcast for a while, but like a bad penny, you showed up again and again with a new podcast name. I'm still
is
enjoying
true.
every episode and occasionally learn something when you have guests on.
occasionally learn something.
I guess we need to have more guests.
Or is it the
The
guests occasionally bring useful information?
Well, the bad thing is most of the guests don't want to come on anymore. They're like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
One and done. One hit wonders, they're
Yeah.
out.
Do you know how much
Didn't you have
bad-
Connie on here once?
We have not had Connie
You
yet.
haven't?
We
Oh.
should.
You ought to get her on here.
Yeah.
She'd be a fun one.
She would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he goes
We
on
could
to
ruin
say,
her reputation like everyone else's.
He says, for a possible topic, would Gene
Oh.
opine on the options for sights and glass for his favorite, the K98 Mauser? I have a sporterized 8mm from my father that had a scope with high see-through rings that I have removed and would like to possibly put a new optic on, but am limited by the bolt throw with a regular scope. Is there any option for a long eye relief mounted scope? How would it be mounted? Stick with some type of iron sights? What are Gene's favorite options? Well, I wish you'd sent a picture of the gun,
Yeah.
because then I could really give him some good feedback. But Mel, what I would do, I would go one of three directions.
Just put a night force on it.
Oh, hard no. Hard no. If you want good glass, look at Leupold. If you want to do a long eye relief, I would look at a Leupold Scout scope. And there's a couple of options as far as mounting that. You can put a rail on the barrel. It'll probably either need to be drilled and tapped, or if it still has the factory military rear sight, you can remove the sight insert, and there's an attachment that will bolt in, and that works reasonably well. And then you can put a scout scope on there. Or I would set it up with peep sights, like a Lyman 57 on the back, a good ramp front sight on the front. And you can set them up any way you want. You know, you can go to New England Custom Gun, get all kinds of options for front sights and all kinds of different beads and bead sizes to where you can match it to, you know, whatever eyesight he has. You know, you want to go as fine as you can with the irons, but if you need to, you know, go with a 1/8" bead on the front. You know, cowboy shooters do that all the time, and that'll still get you out to 150 yards on game.
Yeah.
Or the third option is do it right, drill it and tap it, put proper bases on it, either the Leupold Redfield type one-piece base or a set of tallies. I'd go with the tallies if you've got somebody there that can drill it and tap it straight, and then just have the bolt modified. You know, You get a lot more use out
The
of
charge
it.
handle you're talking about.
Yeah.
Change the angle on
the
it.
actual bolt handle, get it either re-welded or forged.
Yeah.
One of the two.
That's not a taboo on a gun like a K98 because
Where
it's
it's been
already been
sportered.
sporterized.
Yeah. So the nice thing about one that's been sporterized, and
There's no rules anymore.
there's still rules. There's still rules. If it's one that's been completely screwed up, then there are no rules. You're not going to run it. But ones that have nicely been sporterized, and it sounds like this one where they didn't change the bolt handle, it probably hasn't been heavily sporterized.
Okay.
And where it was his dad, I actually had this conversation with a client earlier today. He's got a rifle that he's scared to do anything to because it was his granddad's gun.
Okay.
But he doesn't shoot it.
Okay.
So while you want to keep it the way your granddad or your dad had it, it's your gun now.
Yeah.
You want to pass it down to your kids, they're not going to have the attachment if you don't use it.
Very
It's just
true.
an old gun.
Yep.
If it's been worked on, if it's been sporterized, if it's not a collectible gun, there's nothing wrong with making it yours. Go ahead and do the things to it to where you'll actually use it.
Unless you have bad taste, then
If you've got
just
bad
give it to
taste,
your son
yeah.
now.
Or buy another one. Keep the original, sporterize the second.
You could do that too.
Yeah. Depending on what it is, that might be easier said than done.
Yeah. Like this one where it's a Mauser and it's been lightly sporterized now, and it was his dad's. Like if you like shooting it, go ahead and make it yours.
Yeah.
You know,
Change
the bolt handle, put the scope on it that you want.
Shootable for you.
I will tell you, if you go with a Leupold, it's going to work a lot better. You're not going to have to do as much modification to the bolt handle. You're not going to have to go with extra high rings. If you put a Vortex on it, your guy's going to have to do a ton of work to make it work.
It's good to know.
Yeah, because your eyepiece at the back on the Vortexes, on the Night Forces, those are huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely enormous. With the Leupold, it's still a classic looking scope. It's not oversized back there.
Okay.
So
That's good to know.
yeah,
So trying to save money on the front end by buying a cheaper scope is probably going to end up costing you more money.
It always costs you in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and you can get a VX2. You can get a VX3 pretty inexpensively.
yeah, the Leupolds are nice scopes without being ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, and they're
So-
and it's Christmas time, so you can get deals.
True.
Yeah.
And then after Christmas, you get the clearance specials.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Before the end of the year, crap, we didn't
Yeah.
sell enough of these.
Discontinued models.
yeah, as soon as SHOT Show hits, you start getting the old models coming out for cheap,
That's
Yeah.
true.
pushing out clearing space for the new ones. So
Yep.
yeah, that's what I would do with it. I would go ahead and make it yours. Do whatever it is you want to do to it, so you actually shoot it. That way, when you pass it on to your kids, they've got the connection with you and the stories of your dad using it. So
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
I think that's good advice. Cool.
Well, that's a first.
I'm just saying it because you're sitting right next to me.
Okay.
Within striking distance.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump into what we did with guns. It ought to be short because Taco's not here to talk about the millions of loads that he's reloaded and bullets that he's cast. And anyway, who wants to start?
I'll start.
Go for it.
So I upgraded my carry gun, my concealed gun.
Nice.
I finally joined the P365 family.
Now, what did you go from?
I went from a shield. I've had a
Okay,
shield
good job.
for.
You upgraded.
That's why I feel like I grew up. I became a man. I've had that shield.
The shield's not a bad gun.
No, it's not a bad
You
gun.
compare the two side by side, they're like
They're night and day different.
3 ounces difference. They are when you hold them. They are different.
Yeah.
But like looking at them side by side, they're not. They don't.
Like size-wise, there's not a ton of difference.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
But the 365 is a really good gun.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I would carry a 365 if they made it in 45.
Fair. That's fair. So yeah, I got that one a couple days ago. Got some new concealment solution holsters. I got the Cobra holster and the CS1 holster for it.
Yep.
So excited about those. It is my new concealed weapon that feels nice to have on
you
the hip.
taken it to the range yet?
No, it's been busy week. And
Yeah.
Are you carrying it now?
Yes.
What is wrong with you?
Well, yeah. It's a good point.
Oh, Ricky.
Should have admitted that on there.
Shoot your gun before you carry it.
He's going to take it out, and he's going to be hitting the target 3 spaces over.
Target, though.
Or he'll learn that he got the one that came off the assembly line without a firing pin.
Or that one.
That's true.
That was... Never mind.
Wow. Gene set you up for that.
He did, yeah. He knew the answer to it before you even asked it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I mean, if you do that, there's nothing wrong with carrying your brand new carry gun that you haven't shot yet, as long as you carry it on your offside where you're not going to reach for it if you actually have to use it.
Yeah.
So you have 2 guns?
So you have 2 guns.
There you go.
Or if you're like me, you'd have 3 guns.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that either.
No, yeah.
You keep your normal primary in its normal spot
Sure.
until the other one's tested.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if this one runs out, your primary runs out, if it breaks, if it becomes a useless brick, then you transition to...
After you use the spare magazine in your mag holder,
Yes,
obviously.
yes, obviously. Then you would transition to the untested critter.
Okay.
Haven't you seen the man killer? What is it? The ghosts of Savo?
No.
The man eaters of Savo? The man eating lions in Africa? You haven't seen this either?
I have
Oh
not.
my gosh! So there's this movie called The Ghost of Savo.
Okay.
It's
How do you spell Savo? Oh,
T-S-A-V-O.
Okay.
It's 1890s.
How long of my life is this going to take to watch? How many minutes,
I
hours?
just wonder how
It's
long
an hour and a
gonna
half.
take to explain
Okay.
it.
Okay, so there's these man-eating lions. This engineer for this railroad, it's the Great British Railroad across Africa. He's trying to build this railroad. These lions are eating all his workers. The rest of them are getting
Terrible
scared.
problem.
It is. It's a bad problem.
Are
You
you trying
know?
to build a railroad?
You think we got it bad now trying to hire people. Back then, shoot, lions are eating your people. So, so he ends up hunting these lions, and he's chasing them with a 303 Lee Enfield. He's not connecting with them. Things are going sideways. They get this professional hunter in, this Remington dude. And they go after these lions again, and there's this other guy in camp that's like, hey, take this rifle. It's a Farquharson single shot, big bullets. You'll be able to kill it with these. Mm-hmm. He gets out there. He's got a shot at the lion. He brings up the rifle. Click. Lion almost gets him. The other guy shoots it, wounds it, it takes off. Ends up not eating the engineer guy. But the Remington dude's like, seriously, you went into battle with an untested weapon? What is wrong with you? So, anyway, great movie. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it.
I've
Ghosts?
been admonished. I
Something.
feel it. So.
Good. Okay.
Did
only
you have
because we love
anything
you.
else you wanted to add?
I do have a question. Are there non-man-eating lions? You kept calling them man-eating lions. Are there lions that are not?
Well, so
man-eating?
all lions are capable of eating people. Some
Okay,
just
yeah.
don't care to.
Okay.
Others.
So these had the taste of man, and they were.
And most critters that
They're kind of looked on in the lion world as like vegans.
yeah.
Dude, you eat people?
Yeah.
What's
You know where
not
them things
norm.
have been?
There's all these gazelles and zebras. Why are you eating those?
It's like people that eat gazelles and deer and elk and things like that versus the people that eat Spam. The man-eating lions are the Spam eaters of our world, you know?
Completely flipped.
Oh, boy.
Nice. Okay, Gene, what
Well-
do you got for us?
So besides the usual test firing that I do each week, what I've been doing with guns is a little bit more depressing for some,
Okay.
exciting for myself.
Oh, I know what you're going to say, and it is
So-
depressing.
For some, but exciting for me. So we've got an opportunity, and we're taking it, and we're going to be moving to Wyoming. So I've been packing up my gun room and my reloading supplies, and hopefully within about another 3 years, I'll be done packing, and we'll actually be up there.
It's going to take you 3 years now.
No,
I think you will have missed the opportunity by then.
no. We're hoping to be up there sometime January.
And not just Wyoming, because when I think of Wyoming, I think of like greasy armpits and things like that. But
We're not going to Rock Springs. No offense to any Rock Springs dwellers.
but you're going to
Star Valley.
Okay.
We're going to Star Valley, Wyoming.
Yeah.
I accept that.
I would move to Star Valley tomorrow.
I would do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's been the consensus I've gotten.
I have some buddies up there.
Like everybody's like, you're going to Wyoming, you suck. And then they're like, Star Valley, oh, you really suck and I really hate you.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for you. So,
Well, that is awesome. We hate to see you go, but it's not that far.
no, it's only 4 hours from here.
Yeah.
So, from the studios of the Gun Dudes podcast.
Yeah.
Or the Concealed Taco Dudes.
Yeah.
So if you
Podcast.
leave by 3 or 4 o'clock, you'll be here in time.
Yeah,
With 1 or 2 bathroom breaks.
one's good.
One's good.
My driving doesn't scare me that bad. At least not till I hit the Utah line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
This is a good, exciting
Yes.
opportunity for you. Cool.
Yep. So my wife's parents, they're going off on an LDS mission for a year and a
Okay.
half.
Cool.
So we're gonna try and sell our house down here to a rich Californian for too much money.
Yes.
And go and live on the ranch for at least a year and a half.
Uh-huh.
And in the meantime, we're hoping the market crashes and we can buy up a large ranch and pay cash and live happily ever after. We'll
Nice.
see what happens.
That is not a terrible plan.
Rolling the
No.
dice, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, life's a gamble. And,
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
And short.
Yep.
Cool. That's
Yep.
exciting.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have not done a whole lot with guns lately because I have been slammed with orders, oddly enough.
That's so weird.
But I was in the gun shop today, just a few hours ago, in fact.
Nice.
Your personal gun shop?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, the local gun shop.
Okay.
And, talking to him, and I was like, you seen any 45 Colt lever guns yet? Nope. I said, I want a Henry. Okay, keep my eye out. Basically, I'm asking for a unicorn. They're
out there. It's
they
just
are real.
they are. They are. I've seen them. They just weren't the trophy one that I was looking for, so I let them go.
Yeah, exactly.
Saw a small Sasquatch as well while I was trapping beavers.
But it was your own reflection?
No, I thought it was. And then it waved at me, and I wasn't waving.
Oh, okay. Nice. So that whenever I go in, this is one of the shops that carries my stuff. I'm always okay. Remember, I'm looking for this, and because I put in my order for a Savage Rascal single shot 22 for my grandson. I said I need it probably in 2 or 3 years. Do you think you could make that happen?
I actually saw one at Sportsman's
I believe
a
it.
little bit ago,
Yeah.
like about 8 o'clock, so an hour ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need it till he's probably 4 or 5. So
Oh, okay.
he's 18 months right now. But I thought I'd get a jump on it the way things are.
Get on
There
the
you go.
waiting list.
Yeah, get on the waiting list for a Savage Rascal. And then was, the new Springfield high power. I don't remember, what are they calling it?
SA-35.
SA-35. And they've got a waiting list for that. So I'm like, oh, I'm on the front of the list, right? Even though I just mentioned it. That's how it works, right?
Just asked.
Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
What did you say to me?
And then I took a hard look around and made sure there was nobody else in the shop. And I made him swear that he would not repeat this. So next time you're placing a gun order and you need like one more gun to fill your quota before you can place your order, if there happens to be a 10 millimeter high point carbine,
Whoa.
I knew you were going to say high point.
I would be willing to take that for you.
Wow. Huh.
So, and I looked around again and there was still nobody in the shop. So
Well, those high point carbines, they're not a bad gun.
I know.
They're ugly,
They're ugly,
but they work.
And it's a 10 millimeter carbine.
And in all honesty, High Point's got a great warranty,
They do.
great customer
They
service.
do. Here's what, and I was thinking about this today. This if High Point really wanted to go off the rails with the product and like just sell the crap out of something, if they did that 10 millimeter carbine or the 9 millimeter carbine and made it fit Glock magazines.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'd buy one.
Yeah. Did you hear that, High Point? Because we know you're listening. That would go. They could stay ugly. They wouldn't have to do anything to them.
If they just changed them.
Just make it fit a Glock magazine.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They'd be thousandaires.
Yeah.
Thousandaires.
They'd be able to trade in that Chevy Cavalier on a 97 Buick.
Yeah. Anyway, that's about all I've done. Actually, I had a customer come in today. This is a good story.
That's
worth
weird.
sharing. I know. I swear, I'm surprised my door hasn't fallen off the hinges this week. I have had so many people coming through my door, which is unusual because most of my orders come through the website. But anyway, this guy, new customer, college kid. I could sense that guns are kind of new to him. He's a what do I want to call it? Up and coming enthusiast.
Oh, okay.
You can tell he likes guns. He's just kind of getting into them. First gun he bought was a 1911. 5-inch 1911,
Right
and then he put a
on.
compensator on it. So I'm like, you're gonna have to leave that one with me to make your holster. I know, not perfect, but
It's
then
a start.
He bought recently at a gun show an AK and a Beretta 92. I went, okay. He's carrying this guy is probably about 5'8" maybe, and weighs like 130 pounds. Skinny dude. He's carrying this Beretta 92 appendix.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And he's like, and he had a holster, but I'm making a new one for him that's going to help solve some of the problems that he has. But I was like, okay, you understand that it's going to poke you in the leg because it's a long gun.
Yeah, that's
and the grip,
big gun to
the
carry.
grip
right
is going to
there.
be hard to conceal. We're going to sink it a little deeper and do this and that, but it is what it is.
He would have an easier time pulling the compensator off that 1911 and carrying it.
That's probably true, yeah. But anyway, and like I said, he's new to guns, and I don't want to come across as the type of guy that's like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. You should do
I've seen
it
dumb.
my way. I have too.
So I'm not
I
going
have
to say it's
too.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but he would
Right.
be
And
much
honestly,
more comfortable carrying the 45
Yeah,
because it's a smaller gun, easier
it's
to conceal.
slimmer for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That 92 is a big gun to carry,
It is.
and especially appendix.
Yeah. And so I made the suggestion to him. The holster that he has for it, I can see why he has issues that he's having, and we're going to address those with a new one. But so can I offer you some advice that you didn't ask for? He said, sure.
Unsolicited.
I said, the guns that you have are awesome guns. These are great. They're not going to let you down. Good quality, tried and true. Nothing wrong with them. Keep them forever. You ought to look for a smaller gun to carry every day. And I said, here's why. I said, if carrying your gun every day isn't comfortable and convenient,
Yeah.
you aren't going to do it. And any gun that is on you is better than the gun in the safe.
Yep.
Did you
And-
give him a suggestion as to what?
I didn't, and I could tell when I was talking to him at that point that he was getting a little standoffish, and so I'm like, that's just my suggestion, but I said, we'll get you some stuff that's going to be better than what you got, and you can go from there, and then he was talking about wanting an AR, and I said, well, why don't you build one? Oh, I don't know. I said, dude, they're super easy. I said,
Yeah.
tell you what, if you want to build one, I will help you. Really?
Nice.
I said, sure. I said, here's some websites. Look at these websites. Look at this stuff. If you have questions, let me know. I'll help you out.
Nice.
And, I'm like, dude, you can build an AR pretty dang cheap right now.
Yeah.
You can. Prices have come back down again.
Yeah.
Brownells, they just had a deal a couple days ago where you could get a Geisley set, upper and lower,
Yeah?
for $200.
Strip lowers?
Yeah.
Strip upper and strip lower.
Stripped upper,
Okay.
strip lower.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
But Geisley.
I know. That's good. I
Yeah.
was thinking complete parts, and I was like,
No.
wait.
This is stripped upper, strip lower.
Yeah.
Which
Gotta
is
go.
still a heck of a good deal.
It is.
Yeah.
That is a really good deal.
I actually ordered one. I don't even like ARs.
It's true.
I don't shoot the 3 I've got, but I guess I'll build another.
Yeah. So anyway, that was I'm happy when I get customers like that
Yeah.
that are excited about it, and he's not doing wrong things or bad things. There's just things that he can do better.
Well,
I think. And
when you see him again, pass on my suggestion, and,
Yeah.
and you can put my name to it.
Yeah.
Have him try the 1911.
yeah.
He's going to want to get a good belt,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and you can't wear the skinny jeans.
Nope.
You know, if
The funny thing is,
They're-
you talk about the 2 guns that he got. Those were probably my first 2 guns as well.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up in a
And-
gun family. I didn't know
Yeah.
what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
My first gun was a Taurus PT92.
Okay.
oh yeah,
And then a Smith & Wesson 1911. And I
Nice.
carried both of those at different times. And
Yeah.
I then stopped carrying for a while until I got something else
That worked
Yeah.
better.
that worked. That was a smaller gun.
Right.
And,
And,
so,
and there are people that those guns will work for.
as you were explaining his story, I was like, wait a second. That's mine.
So
Well-
when I lived on the beach,
Uh-huh.
I'm about 5'7", 5'8".
Uh-huh.
Back then, I weighed about 160 pounds.
Okay.
I carried a full-size 1911 on a daily basis.
When you're Speedo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Out on the beach, slip it in the Speedo, you're good to go. But it all comes down to having pants that fit right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're,
You have to
if you're
dress
carrying,
for it.
You have to dress
You
for
do.
it. A good belt. This isn't something you buy at
Right.
Walmart.
Nope.
You've got to get a good
You have
belt.
to get a gun belt. Something
And-
that was
and you're
made
gonna
to carry
try-
a gun.
3 or 4 belts before you find the one that you're like, yep,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah.
And a good holster.
Yeah.
And especially if you're carrying appendix, you've got to have a good holster.
Oh yeah.
And because if it's not comfortable, you're not going to carry it.
Right. Exactly.
And I still carry a full size 1911.
Right.
Actually, I've gone back to carrying inside the waistband.
Really?
I lost enough weight that I can
Oh,
fit
cool.
it in the waistband now.
Your
Congratulations.
Thank
pants
you.
were getting a little loose, so you had to
They're
fill
actually
it up.
too loose. I need to get like another gun in
I'm
there.
not buying new pants. I'm gonna go
I just need a bigger gun.
I just need more guns in there.
IWD.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I mean, and kudos to him for buying full size guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New shooters, that's what they should buy as a full size gun.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
So-
and talking to him, he's like, "Yeah, I really like the historical stuff and this and that," and I think he's getting his history lessons from like Call of Duty, which there's nothing wrong with that, and
yeah,
They're
you-
landmark guns, though. That
Yeah.
You recognize.
There's a lot of those guns that use the proper names for the right guns, and they look proper and everything, and so there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's cool.
And if it gives them a taste and they delve into it deeper and they get the real story, then that's even better.
Yeah.
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 It's like getting sushi at the gas station. If it gets you a taste of sushi and you decide you like it enough, you want to try it some more. That's a good thing.
Except for the diarrhea.
Yeah, well, there's that. Depending on where it puts you after you eat it.
And
I really like the taste of that
And the
stuff, but man.
vomiting.
It tastes great. It doesn't come out great.
Oh. But then, if it tastes good enough, you go and find a proper sushi place.
It's true.
You go to the source.
I've gone to the source and I don't like how it tastes. So maybe I should go try the gas station
Maybe.
sushi first and then go.
Yeah.
no, I don't recommend that. If you want good sushi here in Utah County, Happy Sumo. Never disappointed.
I've never been able to swallow sushi. I've had it in my mouth many a time, and it's never been swallowed. Can't do it.
Well, maybe we ought to start off slow. Get you some raw oysters.
I'm good with some fried chicken and some well-done steak.
Oh, gosh. A well-done steak?
No, you're wrong.
The sacrilege.
It's the same reason I don't like the sushi. I don't like the raw. I don't
It
like
should still move
slimy.
when you're slicing
No.
through it.
Yeah, a little cry. I like them when they come out that they're still trying to walk off the plate.
just smoked, not even cooked.
Yeah. Like there's just a hint of color from where they splashed a little marinade on it.
Wave it over the grill.
Yeah.
It's good. we were at one of those Japanese places where they cook it.
Teppanyaki.
Yeah. This was like a work thing when I was working at the motorcycle shop, and I had this girl working for me in the parts department. She's like, okay, she's like, I want the beef, and she's looking at the chef, like right in his eyes. I want the beef. I want it rare. He's like, okay. She's like, no, rare.
Oh.
And he's like, okay. And he like throws it on the grill, and she's like, that's too long. That's too long. That's too long.
Wow.
It's like, wow. She's like, I just want it warm.
She doesn't even want it warm. She wants it blue.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was hilarious watching her panic.
Oh,
That's too long.
funny.
You're ruining it.
Wow.
We're going to skip the news again. But let's talk, since Christmas is right around the corner, we want to throw out some gift ideas for the gun enthusiast in your life. So I'll start with one, and I throw this out every year because this is like the greatest creation ever in my mind.
I'm excited.
It's a Maglula.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The mag loaders.
Yep.
There's a million different types of magazine loaders or assisted loader things, and a lot of guns come with them in their, the Glocks come with something, and those are okay. The Maglula is like, it's just amazing.
It's a finger saver.
Yeah, they're so easy to use, and they're not, what are they, $25? Something
They're
like
not
that.
much.
They're cheap, and last time I was in the gun shop, they had like 6 different colors.
Yep.
Yep. You can get different colors, different flavors.
So
They'll fit different guns.
yeah, they fit like everything.
Yeah.
I load my 9s, my 45s.
Yeah.
2-3.
Yeah, everything.
My wife loves hers.
Yeah. So if you got a gun person in your life, you don't know what to get them, they're going to be happy with that. And it's kind of one of those things that somebody might not go buy for themselves because it's like, I don't need that. I can just cram them in and I'm fine. I got these calluses.
When you're shooting the Lord's caliber, you don't need any help.
Whatever. I cannot get the last round in my Glock 45 mags
That's
without
because
the
you're not
Maglula.
using the Lord's gun.
That's true. You said the Lord's caliber, though, and it is the Lord's caliber.
Yeah, but that ain't the Lord's gun. Not sure whose it is, but it ain't his.
Anyway.
I keep a couple of those in my range bag.
Yeah.
They don't leave the range bag.
Yeah.
When I'm out in the range.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh crap, it's back at home.
It just, when I have forgotten it, I'm like, okay, I loaded 2 mags, I'm done. I don't need to shoot anymore. It's cheaper anyway.
Yeah, just saved myself some money.
Yeah. Anyway, Ricky, what do you got on your list?
So I love knives, so
Yeah.
I want a new knife every year, so
Okay.
all kinds of different knives.
Anything specific that you would point to?
You know, a lot of my stuff that I have on my list that I get regularly is hunting related.
Like fixed blade stuff?
Yeah, some fixed blade stuff, or the brand is escaping me, but I've got a few that I just need replacement blades because I've
Like
used
the
them.
Avalon or...
Thank you, the Havilon. That's it. Yep, that one is the one I always.
Is that
do those
like one
replacement
of those that looks like almost like a razor knife type
Yeah,
of thing?
got a little scalpel blade
It's like
on
a
it.
paring
Yeah,
knife
yeah.
almost, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, so getting that or a few replacement blades, or sometimes I'll just see a cool knife online, just browsing.
If you have a hunter on your list, there's those, what do they call them, dressing kits?
Yeah.
That have
there's
like
dressing kits.
a knife and scissors. And,
yeah, I don't.
Nah.
That's too much for me. I just like the.
You know, the Avalon would be a great one to get,
Yeah?
Yeah, they're cheap. They're.
you know. And my pet peeve has always been quality.
Yep.
Like, if you're going to give me something, give me quality.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be,
So it's
all the
bench made or
bells.
nothing.
yeah, you know, bench made,
Yeah.
you know, Boker. I mean, there's a lot of great knives out there.
Yeah.
You know, Columbia Knife and Tool.
Yeah.
There's a ton of really great companies that do really great knives that don't cost an arm and a leg, but
Yeah.
they're quality. They're
Yeah.
a good blade. You can use them. You know, if you go to, I don't know, we'll say Walmart and you buy their $9.99 special,
Yeah.
it's probably not going to be great.
Yeah.
And but you get a Havilon, you get a Benchmade, CRKT, you know, any of those are going to be great.
Well, and I had on my list also a cheap knife.
A cheap knife.
Well, listen. Cheap is all in your perspective. Cheap to
is
one
true.
person is not the same as it is to somebody else.
This is true.
So when I'm thinking cheap, so like years ago, those of you who remember the unnamed trucker from the, I don't even remember what his podcast was. Anyway, he gave me a Kershaw for Christmas one year. He was rolling through town. We got together for lunch.
Kershaw's
He's
a
like,
good knife.
here, I got this. But it's a cheap knife. It is, I
It's
don't
an
know.
inexpensive knife.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
probably
It's not
a better,
cheap knife.
that's probably a better
It's
way to
an
put it.
Inexpensive.
It was, and it's, I love the knife. I still
Yeah.
use it all the time. It's an assisted open, holds an edge really nice. It's easy to sharpen, but it's seriously, it's the type of knife like you're in line at the hardware store or something like that.
Yeah, it's
And
like the old
in
timers used
the
to be.
blister pack hanging on the shelf right there. It was probably, I'm guessing, maybe $20 to $30.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So-
you can get a good knife for that price.
Yeah, and so even if you have snobs on your list that will only go with Benchmade and this
Yeah,
and
it
that,
sounds like Gene.
here's the thing with guys like that is most of the time they're carrying a Benchmade or some high-end knife, and they get their package from UPS. They're looking for something to open the box with because they're not going to use the Benchmade.
I use my Benchmade for everything.
And you should. That's what it's made for.
And I've got everything from old timers, Swiss
yeah.
Army knives, to custom knives that cost hundreds of dollars.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Thankfully, my wife doesn't listen to this all the time.
I'm the same way.
You know, and I use all of them.
Yeah.
A knife is a tool.
Yeah.
And if it's a good tool, I don't care how much it costs.
Yeah.
I use those old timers just as much as I do the cases, just
Yeah.
as much as I use the Benchmades.
Yeah.
The
And a
pokers
Benchmade will
and-
open a can of paint just like anything else.
That's what can openers are for, son. Golly.
Anyway, my point is, regardless of whether your gun person is a snob for brands or whatever, a good quality, inexpensive knife, they're
Yeah.
still going to appreciate, because if they're one of those guys like, oh, I'm not getting, my Benchmade's not touching that.
Well,
they've got this other knife that
yeah,
they're
exactly,
like,
right?
oh yeah, I'll open cardboard
Yeah,
and do
exactly.
this all day long with that one. And
Well,
save
you know
other one.
something else.
Yeah,
You know, talking about inexpensive knives, but good knives,
yeah.
you know, don't forget the antique shops.
Oh yeah,
You can get some really great knives at antique shops.
yeah.
And I don't know about other people, but I love it when somebody hands me an old knife and says, "Here, I was thinking of you and I saw that."
Really?
That makes my day.
Nobody's ever done that. My day's never been made.
I'm sorry.
No one ever thinks of me when they see anything.
I was out in the pasture and I saw some cow pies and I thought of you.
Immediately, your face came to my mind.
Aw,
Closer to the truth.
Exactly. So,
It was mostly after I stepped in it that I thought of you.
between the feel and the smell, I thought, yep. Aw.
Anyway, a decent, inexpensive knife you can never go wrong with. Any gun guy, I don't know what it is. Gun guys are knife guys.
Yep.
I've never seen it
Yep.
any other way.
I love seeing all the knives in people's pockets, just a little clip.
Yeah.
You see
Oh,
it
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah,
It's my favorite. I
Yeah.
want to go hug them.
yeah. My girls all have knives. I don't think they carry them in their pockets.
Oh.
They're in their purses
Oh, that's a start.
with a flashlight. What do I need a flashlight for? It's on my phone.
I pulled my knife out. I found this Gerber. It's like the money clip knife,
Oh yeah.
Oh, cute.
and
That takes razor blade.
They call that a
Yeah.
terrorist special, don't they?
You could hijack an airplane with that.
yeah, exactly. That's who introduced it to me.
Yeah.
I've had that thing for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Well, not that one, because oftentimes they break or fall out, and so
Yeah, I've
that's
got this
one knife my
basic
wife
box
gets me
cutter.
every single year. Is one of those.
That's just
Wow.
my box opener for when shipments come in.
Your Benchmade.
It's a Benchmade.
When was that last sharpened?
Last week.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds about right.
I'm carrying this
Ooh, that's something else.
CRKT
Nice.
Jettison.
So speaking of knives,
Holy, that is a huge wallet.
it carries everything I need.
All your receipts. Just start
Do you have
calling
back
George.
problems?
No,
Jeez, dude.
I carry a 1911. I got to balance out the side, you know. A couple of mags ain't enough. So something else I'm going to suggest, if you've got a knife guy,
Yeah.
get him a diamond sharpening stone, and that's put out by DiaSharp.
And it's like a credit card.
DMT. Yeah, it's a credit card sized sharpening stone.
Yeah, it looks like a credit card.
And so I can keep that in my wallet.
Yeah.
You know, at Thanksgiving, we were down in St. George at my in-laws' new house, and they had a bunch of knives there, and some of them weren't very sharp. And I was able to just whip out that sharpening stone, put a
Just
quick
use that
on 'em.
edge?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That is
Diamond
awesome.
Sharpening card, DSF fine, 25 micron, 600 mesh.
Yeah, and so it's put out by DMT,
Yep.
so super high quality.
I like that.
So that's another gift idea right there.
Another gift idea. You know?
What did that go for? Do you remember?
I think it was like $20, $25,
Okay,
something
cool.
like that. And you know, on the hunt,
I'm gonna look
it's
for
with
one
me.
of those.
Yeah.
If I'm fishing, you know, you can use it for sharpening hooks, and it's.
People always talk about sharpening fish hooks. Has anybody ever actually done that?
Nope.
I do it.
Well, you just get a new hook.
Well, if you're using flies and it's a good fly,
Oh, that's true.
you know, if you've hooked into a log or something.
No, it
It'll
stays
take
in
the
the
edge.
log. Yeah.
Now, see, I use braid, so I bring the log in.
Oh, yeah.
So if you fish behind me, there is no structure in that water. It's on the bank now from where I've snagged. I just bring it in. But yeah, you can do, you know, if you've got to do, you know, some gun work,
Yeah.
you can use those, you know, to go in and smooth things out.
Yeah.
Like it multi-purpose. It's diamond. It's not going to wear out.
Yeah. Diamond, you don't get quite as fine as you can with the stones, but
Well, and you can do extremely well.
yeah.
And I've still got a drawer full of stones,
Yeah.
but I use the diamond way more.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got
Well, it's nice because
6
that's on a
different
piece
grits.
it's on a piece of metal, so it's not going to bend or flex
Yeah.
or anything or
Yeah.
break in your pocket.
and they've got bigger ones. You know, they've got the proper bench type.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
sharpening
I've seen
stones.
those before too.
And I've got a couple of those, and they're great.
yeah.
But that credit card size one, great stocking stuffer.
Yeah. Or be a great thing to throw in your bug out bag.
Yep.
Doesn't
Yeah.
take up any space.
Doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah. Cool.
And it's super good to have.
Another thing I have on my list is a mag carrier or a mag holder.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people still that
There's
don't
so
carry a
many
spare
guys.
magazine.
And most companies don't have great options.
Yeah.
Like
it's
I was
true.
looking at Sports South the other day, one of our wholesalers, and there's not a ton of great options for mag carriers.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you can go to magholder.com, look at what they've got.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
You can get a decent mag carrier for $20-$30.
Yeah.
And I like the mag holders. That's what I use. And a mag holder might be one of those products for like the traditional gun guy that's going to look at that and go, "Oh, that's not right.
Yeah.
It's not vertical."
We get that.
Right. Right. But if you give it to them as a gift, they're more willing to try it, and then they'll go, "Oh."
Yeah.
Mag holder is one of those products. Unless you've used it, you probably aren't going to understand it.
I was actually talking to a new dealer that was interested in signing up a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And he was exactly that comment. He's like, but it's horizontal and it just doesn't.
It's pointed
I
the
don't think
wrong
it'd
way.
work right. And here's some
That's-
feedback. Here's how I think you got to change it. And so I talked to him and explained to him, you know, how it works and why it's designed the way it is. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, let's talk more.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I
Just
get
got to think about it.
so I have 2 conversations regularly, like weekly if not bi-weekly, without a doubt, with customers. One is, "Can you attach a spare magazine to my holster?" And I go, "No." "Well, these other guys do it. Here's why you don't want that. If you're going for your spare magazine, your bad day just got worse. And if it's attached to your holster, which is on your strong side, now you're reaching all the way across your body with your weak hand to get to that magazine. Bad idea. Plus, it puts all the weight on the same side.
Right.
You'll be unbalanced, like Gene, and have to carry a giant wallet."
Yeah. You don't want to do that.
So
You don't.
the only exception is there's a lot of rigs out there that are appendix rigs that have a spare mag attached to it. That makes sense because it's right where your weak hand is anyway.
Right.
So I had that conversation today.
Nice.
You know, Will you make me
Or
one of these?
worse,
No, I will
you
not.
have
and
to
here's
switch
why.
your gun from your strong hand to your weak hand.
Yeah,
Get your mag out.
Yeah.
Put it in the gun. Put the gun
Switch it
back in the
back.
strong hand.
yeah.
You don't want to be doing that.
It's just it sounds good, and there's a lot of options out there, especially if you go to the Army Navy store and buy their
Like the only
nylon
time that makes
Velcro
sense
stuff.
is like if you have a Browning buckmark and you're out shooting squirrels and you have a spare magazine in the front of your holster.
Yeah,
That's the only time it makes sense. But in a defensive
but
situation,
even then, isn't it still better on your?
yeah, it's still
side?
better on the other side. But
Yeah,
like that's the only time I can think of that it would be acceptable in my eyes.
yeah,
Like I would probably still just have like a multi-mag carrier on the offside.
yeah. Or
Because
stick it in your freaking pocket is better than having it on the
Yeah.
strong side in the holster.
yeah, you know, it's
Oh, look at that.
having it on the weak side is where
Hey.
it should be.
You need to get you a mag holder.
Well, I have them, but I had too much weight on that side already
Just the wallet.
because of the wallet.
Just take out
And it's
half
dark
those
out, so I had a flashlight there too. So
the other conversation that I have regularly with people, I want a double mag carrier.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You gave the mag holder the plug, but I actually have a couple of your single mag holders. So go ahead
Yeah.
and finish your.
So here's why, and I have made double mag carriers in the past. Here's why I don't anymore, because the space that two single mag carriers take with in the vertical, obviously it's different with the horizontal, but
Right.
two vertical ones takes up about the same amount of space that one double takes. The advantage you get is one, it's not one big flat rigid piece on your side
Yep.
or curved to what we think your body curves like.
And will never change.
Yeah, and will never change. Two of them, two singles, naturally follows the curve of your body. It's
Yeah.
going to be more comfortable.
Good point.
Also, it gives you the option of, I don't carry two spare magazines with me. I carry one. I think that's all I need.
I hope that's all.
If I decided, oh, I need to carry two, or I'm going to go shoot a match, or something
Yeah.
where I'm going to need more, then guess what? I can add more.
That's why I've used yours before. I took a gun class
Yeah.
down in Nevada, and
Uh-huh.
they required vertical, and
Right.
they required a double, and so I got
Yeah.
two from you for that. So
Right.
Nice.
it worked great.
Yeah.
The only time I carry two is if I'm in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and then if I'm up in Salt Lake or some other unsavory place, then I carry four.
Yeah.
But then I've got three guns on me.
Yeah. But
You
then,
don't have to go far.
then you just
Huh?
You don't have to go far to need that much.
No.
then you
I
just
figure I
go,
should be able to get back to the truck by that point.
Yeah.
you go for the New York reload.
Then it's lights out
Yeah.
for whoever's following you.
You know what the New York reload is, right?
You drop a gun and you pull out another one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's why I have three guns. And four mags.
Yeah. Nice. All right, Ricky, you got something else on your list?
Flashlights. I like
Oh, yeah.
flashlights,
Nice.
headlamps.
That's another thing.
There's so many good brands
gun
out there.
guys. Flashlights and knives. Always,
I-
always.
I lose them. They get broken. I've got kids. They take them. Little kids.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just they find it or want to play with it for a minute, and then I never see it again. So,
So do you
I'm always
like-
getting.
Do you like ever, because I love messing with other people's kids especially, do you ever like hand them like a super bright flashlight and be like, look how bright that thing is, and like just blind them?
It sounds like something I should try with some nieces and nephews, but my
Like-
kids know.
Oh.
I'm paying
Like
that,
I'll
that bill.
hand my flashlights to kids and they'll be like, oh look, and they'll shine it right in their eyes, and then they're
Flash
they're
bang,
you know
just-
yeah they're staggering around.
Is there a brand or model of flashlight that you guys
You know,
prefer?
it's funny. I actually use Black Diamond headlamps. They're really good, really stupid bright,
Utah
light.
company?
They're Utah company.
Their stuff's made in China, but it's a
Yeah,
Utah company.
sure.
Everybody's
Headquarters is in Utah.
Yeah.
I like their stuff. I
Yeah.
know they're not super friendly to the outdoors, but my kind of
Well,
outdoors. But
Yes.
They make quality gear.
they make
They
good gear.
make really
and,
good gear.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I always use them hunting.
Yeah.
So the one I'm carrying today is a Streamlight.
Yep.
Yep.
Good
It's
stuff.
a polymer. In fact, it's the Polytac X. Love it. Great light. As far as my other lights, I actually have a bunch of Army Tech. It's a Canadian company.
I haven't heard of them.
They're not big in the U.S.,
Yeah.
but they're really good lights. I've had
They
most.
actually made in Canada.
They're made in
Or
China.
do the Chinese ship them to Canada?
They're super high quality.
So you're supporting two foreign entities.
So do you take, let's say, that Streamlight out hunting with you?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
See, my problem is I always lose or break, usually leave it out there, falls out of the pack or the pocket.
Well, and so that's
Especially a headlamp. I have it on my head in the morning, then take
Yeah.
off the hat or something while I'm sitting around and then lose it. So
my
I hate
Army
spending
Tech-
more than $20 or $30.
Oh yeah, that's why I buy quality, because I do the pat down and make sure if I'm moving positions, if I've been sitting in one spot for a while, I do the pat down. Everything's in its place. Headlamps there or in the pocket.
I
Depending
need
on
to
what
get
time
someone
of
to do
day.
the pat down for me because I'd forget.
Oh. Well, you lose a $50, $80, $100 flashlight, and
Yeah.
you go back and find it, and after
Yeah,
that you're
going
doing the
back
pat
up there.
down. So I've actually misplaced a couple of high-end lights,
Jeez.
and I've gone back for them suckers, and I found them,
Yeah.
and I make sure I don't do that again.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. Do it once.
But the nice thing about the Army Techs, and I've noticed with the Streamlight as well, the battery life is much longer. So
Are
I
they
used to-
rechargeable or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So these, both of those, they take an 18650
Okay.
rechargeable battery. So it's like an oversized CR123.
Yeah.
But it's, just a big rechargeable battery.
So you have a couple of those batteries that you take with you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I take a whole handful of them.
Yeah.
But I like the Streamlight version of those batteries because they've got just a micro USB on the battery.
Oh, nice.
So I can
wow.
I can have one plugged into the truck all the time.
Sure.
And
So I got one better on you. My favorite. I use a lot of the Streamlights also. I don't remember what model it's called. It's a little bigger than your
Okay.
polymer one there, but it's super bright and it has a little collar that you slide down, plug in the USB right
Oh,
to
cool.
the side of the battery,
Yeah.
or side of the
flashlight itself.
Okay.
Cool.
And so I have one that lives on my nightstand, and there's one in each vehicle because you can just plug it in while you're driving
Yeah.
around and keep it charged.
Yeah.
And those are really nice. They're a little bit bigger, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
So going back to the Army Tech, I've got one of their searchlights. It looks like a mag light, except it's not huge in diameter.
Okay.
Super long. It takes 2 or 3 of the 18650 batteries,
Okay.
Sheesh.
and that sucker is bright.
Yeah.
Like I can light up a mountain for miles.
Huh.
Just bright as day.
Burn the flesh off a
What are those
zombie?
priced at?
Huh.
I don't remember what retail is on now. They're like 100,
Okay.
120, something like that.
That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Well worth the money.
Yeah.
I charge the batteries in that once a year.
Really?
Wow.
And I can, any time of year, dead of winter, I can go out there, fire it up,
Can you light up airplanes flying by in the dark?
maybe.
I want you to try that sometime.
Have you seen those lasers that go stupid far, like
Oh, yeah.
like lightsabers? I've got a few of those that I used to sell back in my early days,
Yeah.
and yeah, I still take them out with the scouts and stuff. They're
Nice.
like a lightsaber. They go, like you said, mountains.
Oh,
over.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
those are the ones
Those are
people get in
super
trouble.
handy.
I was gonna say.
Flashing the airplanes and
Yeah.
helicopters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're really not trying to flash them. They're just
No,
playing,
they're just
playing
pointing up.
lightsaber
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
games,
Yeah. Gene, what do you got on your list?
I've got a lot of things on my list, but I'm going to go with wool socks.
Oh yeah.
Good wool socks.
Because good wool socks,
Do you have a brand that you like?
so most of the ones made in the U.S. are going to be made by a mill in North Carolina.
Okay.
I love theirs.
By who? A mill?
There's a mill, I don't remember the name of it.
Huh.
It's like Carolina Yarn Company or something like that. It used to be if you went to Cabela's and bought their bulk pack, they were
Yeah.
made in North Carolina.
Okay.
If you bought the Brownings, they're made in North Carolina. If you bought
Okay.
the Carhartts, they're made in North Carolina. If it says made in the USA, there's a good chance that's where they're made, and they make really good
So,
socks.
I've got a brand that I absolutely love, and they do everything. All their
Hanes?
stuff is no. All their stuff is, I believe it's merino wool, so it's not the itchy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with that.
Well,
You
and
get
if you're
some-
buying good wool socks, they're going to be merino anyway.
that's true.
So,
Yeah.
Or
back in
Angora,
the
or-
day, you'd get wool stuff and it would just itch like
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
But this is a company in Vermont called
Oh, yeah.
Darn Tough.
Uh-huh.
Darn tough.
Darn Tough. Now, I have a pair of their winter wool socks.
Yep.
So they're heavier on the bottom and they're got spandex and they fit really well. Super nice. I think I paid $40 for one pair of socks.
Wow.
I bought a pair of Farm to Feet.
Oh yeah,
And
I've
they're
seen them too.
Super nice, super thick.
Yeah.
They're actually too thick to wear with my Kenetrex.
Yeah, you got to get bigger shoes.
Yeah, and but super, super comfy.
Yeah.
And I think they were about 30, 35
Yeah.
for a pair.
The coolest thing about Darn Tough, and they do everything. Like I have, like I like short socks.
Oh,
I don't like socks coming up my ankle, up my legs.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
Yeah, unless it's wintertime.
Unless I'm hunting.
If it's wintertime,
Ice fishing.
I wear full length socks. But they do everything from really thin, like athletic running socks, hiking stuff, to winter grade stuff. All their stuff guaranteed for life.
nice.
Unconditionally.
Yes,
That's what the website says.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my brother, he's the one who turned me on to these guys. He's like, I just had 3 pair. I wore through the heels in them, and he's like, oh yeah, when I'm camping,
what?
I walk around campground with just in my socks and whatever.
And they warranty that?
So he calls them, hey, I've got these socks, unconditional warranty. What do I need to do? He's like, okay. He's like, yeah, send them back to us. Here's the address, and we'll give you in-store credit for the website for full retail for what those socks sell for now. And he's like, oh, awesome. And he's like, just out of curiosity, he's like, how many people do you get that actually send stuff back? Like about 1%.
Really?
Wow.
And he's
Well,
like,
most
yeah,
people forget.
or it's not worth the trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes for me, I know the warranty's there, but at the same time, I want to support the company, so I'm gonna
And
get
too.
something to.
That too. And I have the same with
Keep 'em
with
going.
customers of mine.
Sure.
I just shipped an order out today, and in the notes, she says, hey, I've been using your product for years. I love it. I'm excited for this new one. And the other one, I just finally wore that one out. And I went, okay. I just sent you another one, or at least replaced it or fixed it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I get it, and I appreciate it either
Yeah.
way.
Well, and a lot of times
But-
people, great people, they'll be like, you know what? I've gotten my use out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, got my
My
money's worth.
value is good.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You know?
I get that too. But it's nice to know, kind of like what you said, Ricky, that that's there. So if I do have a problem or whatever, they're going to take care of it.
If
Yeah.
it's within a certain time frame,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna claim that warranty. Otherwise,
Yeah.
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 Now, if I buy a pair of socks and 20 years later I finally wore through them,
You're not going to call them?
I'm not going to call it.
this piece of crap sock.
I can't believe it. I was
What
expecting
kind of
21
business are you
years.
guys
I've worn
running
these
over
things
there?
for 20 years, every day.
Here's the
Yeah.
point, though, is they can do that because they know they're putting out a
Yeah.
super high-end product.
Yeah.
Because if they were wearing out in a year or two, because I have some really nice, from a very well-known company, wool socks that I've completely worn through. 2 different brands. And it makes me sad because they were some of my favorite socks for when I go fat biking.
Yeah.
And now I got to
I've actually
replace them
got
with Darn
wool
Toughs.
socks that I bought before my daughter was,
Wow.
and she's a teenager.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I still wear them. They're
And
getting
that's-
thinner, but I still wear them.
And that's what you can expect with something like
Yeah.
this. So Darn Tough socks.
Yeah.
I love them, and they've got a ton of different stuff. And they're stupid expensive for socks, but
Yeah. If you're used to buying Walmart packs,
oh yeah,
you're going to have a stroke when you see the prices.
yes.
That's me.
But-
That's me right there.
But I tell you what, like there is nothing nicer than a nice pair of socks.
Oh yeah, and especially if you hunt and you hike and do all that kind of stuff, you will not know the difference a good pair of socks will make for your
Yeah.
feet.
So here's a story. I went hunting in Colorado a month ago, and before I went, I have a box of hunting socks where I keep my wool socks, my quality ones that I only pull out for hunting season. And it's been an argument with my wife for years I don't need this box. I don't pick my 2 favorite ones and she'll throw away the rest. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't touch the box. The box disappeared when I was packing.
Ooh.
And so I didn't want to have the fight before I left, so I just grabbed a couple of crappy socks I had in the closet and froze my butt off because I didn't have my quality socks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got back and I had found where I misplaced the box
So
in the corner. No, it was mine. Yeah, it was mine.
Yeah,
yeah.
a good pair of socks, that'll make or break
Make a
hunt.
difference. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you can
For
have a time of your
sure.
life or be miserable.
Yep.
For
So-
sure. Well, I think we've gone long enough. We could probably go on for another hour talking about stuff we like.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
we can go back to
I'd
that,
made some notes of some things I'm going to send to my wife for
Yeah.
my own Christmas
Yeah.
gifts.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us. I hope we provided some meaningful content, if not entertainment.
And if not, well, go back to that Billy Madison quote.
Yeah. Just rewind and keep playing that over and over again.
Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share it with your friends, family,
Definitely.
neighbors. Tell everyone about it.
And I am working on something, another story time that will probably air around Christmas time. I imagine that weekend will be difficult for us to get together. So this one is taking a lot of preparation. So the last 2 story times I did, I read those books after I finished reading this one. So I want to do it justice. So and yeah.
It's nice to know that you're planning already on us not coming through and being here.
planning on you guys not being there for me. Yeah. No, I've just done this long enough that I know how things go.
Yeah, that time of
So-
the year.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Go take somebody shooting.
Gals.
Be nice to people.
Or not.
Yeah, be nice. There's enough being nice. We don't need any more. Anyway, we'll catch you next time.
Get it all out of my throat.